Hi, I'm Lou from Tropic Marin USA. You've probably seen me on a video or two. We're here at Interzoo 2024 in Nuremberg, and this is just so much fun. Everybody comes to be really serious about the hobby. I love coming to Interzoo every 2 years. One of the things we thought we would be interesting to talk about is the questions that I get asked all the time. And one of those questions is, what would be best for me to supplement my calcium and my alkalinity? Should I be using Balling method? Should I be using All-For-Reef? Should I be using carbocalcium? What's the best way? The answer is there is no best. The answer is, how do you want to run your system? So let's talk about why you might pick one or the other. Now over here, I've got the two main ways you're going to want to do this. We've got the Balling method, which is the 3-part, and then the All-For-Reef. So let's talk about the Balling method first. What are the advantages of the Balling method? The advantages are, number one, you can really fine-tune how much calcium, how much alkalinity is going in your system. Why do we need 3 parts? We need 3 parts because you get some sodium chloride that's left over from the part A and the part B. And what the part C does is to balance that ionically. So even though you're still getting a little rise in the salinity, you're getting a balanced rise so that everything stays the same. When you do your water change, you lower that salinity a little bit and everything is equal. The big advantage of the Balling method is you're able to tweak the amount of alkalinity and the amount of calcium going in. So if you have one of these tanks that uses a lot more alkalinity or even a little bit more alkalinity than calcium, you're able to tweak that on a daily basis going in with the Balling method so you can keep those always where you need them. What's the disadvantage of the Balling method? I need 3 different dosing pumps, or I have to manually dose 3 different solutions to make this happen in my tank. So, advantage, I can tweak things. Disadvantage, I got 3 different pumps or 3 different dosings. Now, the All-For-Reef. If you've got one of these systems, you're really lucky by the way, but if you've got one of these systems where the calcium usage kind of is equal with the alkalinity usage. Now you would know this because you're using a 2-part method where you're putting in the same amount of calcium and the same amount of alkalinity solution every day. Now you're a perfect candidate for the All-For-Reef. This is now a single solution that is going to supply calcium, alkalinity, magnesium, and trace elements. Big advantage of the All-For-Reef is 1 dosing pump for all of those components. Second advantage, the Balling method is very good at controlling and compensating and adding your calcium and your alkalinity. But alone, it's not doing anything for trace elements or magnesium. You have to add those separately. By the way, little secret, you can add the trace A and the trace K to the Balling method, so it not only does calcium and alkalinity, but it also does trace elements. Now, the big advantage of the All-For-Reef is in this one solution now, you're getting your calcium, your alkalinity, and your magnesium, and your trace elements. This is a beautiful thing. 1 dosing pump. Are there any disadvantages? Yeah, the disadvantage is you don't have that ability to tweak the calcium and the alkalinity like you do in the Balling method. What's the answer to that? I got it for you. If you're using more alkalinity and you need to supplement a little bit of more alkalinity, you get some Balling B solution and you supplement a little Balling B to add that extra alkalinity you need. Keep in mind now, you're still only working now with 2 solutions, where with the Balling method, you're with 3. Again, big advantage of the Balling method, you're tweaking that on a daily basis. You gotta do it manually with the All-For-Reef. That's the big question, that's the big answer, All-For-Reef or Balling method.
One question, Lou.
Yes.
What if I'm a beginner in the hobby? Should I start with the Balling system directly or rather with All-For-Reef?
Simple answer to that question. My answer is you totally start with the All-For-Reef, and that if you notice that you need a little tweaking, you use the Balling A or the Balling B to tweak it. But as a new hobbyist, the ability to add your calcium, your alkalinity, your magnesium, and your trace elements with just 1 solution. I don't care if you got a dosing pump or you're manually dosing. This advantage as a new hobbyist to be able to use just 1 solution outweighs any disadvantage there is. Thanks for being with me here today. I'm gonna go back to my booth here at Interzoo, and I'll see you next time.